You know the vibes. Welcome back to another episode of the Hoop Genius podcast brought to you by NBA
Uh,
2K25. It's myself, Mooncey, alongside me as always, Mr. BJ Armstrong,
uh,
live and direct from where are you, BJ? What you got going on?
I'm just doing a little work, well, just doing a little work. Yeah,
Unnamed
location.
location,
Yeah, but an unknown
classified
location. But
information.
yeah, just doing a little work though.
Yeah,
I don't
I
want to
didn't want
give
to
it
say it.
away.
I
Yeah,
didn't want to
yeah.
say it. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it.
Yes,
It's
thank you. Well,
classified
yeah,
info.
yeah. In case our competitors are here, I don't want them to say, "Oh, well, I got to get there too."
Our
So.
competitors ain't there. Our competitors are in the mud.
mm.
Ain't no competition. The one, the only, the Hoop Genius podcast. We've got to talk about some NBA, BJ.
Okay, great.
Some more bad news for the Clippers. Their star player Kawhi Leonard, who they just gave a 3-year contract extension to, has been sidelined for an indefinite period of time to start the NBA season as he rehabilitates the inflammation in his right knee. Now, let's dive into this. First and foremost, the key word there is indefinite period. Now,
Right,
most players like Porzingis, for example, they say he's going to be back by the end of December. Or,
right.
Mitchell Robinson, he should be back by December or January. Teams give those kind of estimates as to where the players are. Is the indefinite period part of this very concerning to you? Because if they had a timeline where he could realistically be back, would they not say it? Or are they just trying to play games for their opponents?
The one thing living in Los Angeles that I don't know what the report is or what you're referring to that was reported today, but what I'm hearing here in Los Angeles that's been reported locally is that he hasn't practiced at all. Now, that to me is the most concerning thing. It's not like he was practicing and then he's out and then they don't know. According to the reports in Los Angeles, he hasn't practiced at all. And
And
I'm
he
a
left
little
the
concerned.
Olympics in the summer as well.
Yes. So I'm just concerned about his health because he's had some issues from his days back in San Antonio. Then he was kind of going on a game, off a game in Toronto, which they won the championship. And then we know the history that we've seen here in LA with the Clippers. Now, I'm just concerned about his health because when he plays, he's fantastic. I mean, you and I was just talking about a year or two ago. I think it was game one or so
He might be the
versus
best
this
player in the
player
playoffs when he's healthy.
when he's healthy. And then all of a sudden now he can't even practice. So this is a concern. To what degree? And I think what we're alluding to here is that we just want to know what's really going on.
Yeah.
It seems to be a mystery of what's happening. But for him and what's being reported, I just hope he can get himself back on the court, get himself healthy. And because when he is healthy, he is one of the best players in the game.
Yeah. The best ability is availability. The Clippers gave him that 3-year, what was it, $150 million extension. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think they knew this before they gave him the extension and they're just happy with, well, we have a new arena, we need fans to come and we can put Kawhi Leonard on the billboards? Because obviously they didn't pay Paul George. Or do you think that this is kind of new information that they didn't know before giving him the extension? Like we talked about Embiid not playing back-to-backs after getting his extension.
Well, if you follow the timeline and based on what I've seen, it appears to be that this is something that just kind of came up. And the reason I say that is because he showed up to the Olympics. He practiced for a day or I don't know, a
He
week or
took the
so. I don't know.
pictures. Yeah.
Yes, him. He showed up, he played, and then all of a sudden he just disappeared. Now, I don't know if this is a new occurrence. I'm not privy to that information, but I'm going to assume in working with the team that everyone's going to do the physical. You're going to look out, everything checked out, and all of a sudden this is something that new that just kind of popped up
Well,
after what we saw in the Olympics.
well, Clippers assistant coach Brian Shaw said he's not been a part of what we've been doing on a daily basis. I know the company line has been that we're going to be patient with him. So he's just doing everything he can to rehab it and strengthen that knee on his own with our medical staff. And we're just dealing with the guys that we have here available. So he's not been a part of the Clippers plans whatsoever throughout the offseason and training camp and our preseason. Is that worrying? Because when I read that statement, it says, I know the company line has been, we're just going to be patient with him. But someone says that you're waiting for the but in that sentence. I know the company line is this, but da 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 da. And I think that silence there speaks a little loudly as to, how available he will be this season. Because if he was going to be back anytime soon, you would be including him in those plans.
I'm going to give the Clippers, Kawhi, the benefit of the doubt and say, let's wait for everyone to speak on the facts. And I don't want to read into what, Coach Shaw or anyone is saying. I don't want to read into whatever company line, whatever those words, because we can run with those words.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun for us in the media.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that because I've been on the other side. However, I think I'm out of respect because I have much respect for Kawhi. I have much respect for Ty Lue and the people there in the Clippers. Is allow them to address the situation with facts. Well, and whatever's going on, okay, just say it. If he's hurt, then he's hurt. If there's something else going on,
I mean, it's hard to sell season tickets if you're going to tell your fans that your best player's not going to play all year. But
yeah, I mean, I'm going to assume something is going on.
I'm going to assume he's not playing.
It.
Well,
yes.
Well, here's the thing. Like I said, we got no competition because Kendrick Perkins of ESPN came out today and said that Kawhi Leonard should consider retiring. What are your thoughts on this? The same Kendrick Perkins, who ESPN did a story on being involved in essentially a Ponzi scheme targeted at NIL athletes in college, and then days later signed him to a multi-year extension. That same Kendrick Perkins. Shout out to Perk, I guess. Maybe not.
Yeah, but. I'm again. I'm going to say what I know. And right now, I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I know.
Well, Perk said there's only so many surgeries you can have, and I think that there's only so many bad takes you can have. Why the hell would Kawhi Leonard retire when he can chill and not play or practice and still collect $50 million a year? Why the hell would he turn that down?
I'm going to assume that Big Perk, who's my guy, that's my guy.
That's your guy.
I'm going to assume Big Perk is privy to information that I'm not. Clearly, you're not. And clearly, no one else is.
Or am I? Or am I?
Maybe you do. Yeah, you might know. You might know something all the rest of us don't.
Well, I just know that if someone was paying me $50 million a year to do nothing, I would not walk away from that deal. That's the information I know. And I know that's the information you know as well. Because if anyone offered me any amount of money to do nothing, I would simply collect it. Why would I turn that down?
Yeah, but you know what, Mo? You say that, but you know what? In all my years of knowing you, if you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. So your word means something. So if you did sign for $50 million or whatever these guys are making for a year, I know it's one thing. You would give me a good effort.
Oh, hell yeah. I'd probably also have 1,000 kids, but...
Please edit that out. Please edit
I can't. The people need to know the realness. It's 2 a.m. There's no filter. Okay, so here's the thing, BJ. We were talking the other day about which teams will miss the playoffs in the Western Conference. And I said the Clippers if Kawhi Leonard's not available, and now he's not available. The Clippers have a very realistic chance of missing the play-in altogether. We talked about there being 10 good teams in the West. Now, if you remember Kawhi Leonard's good friend, Mr. Paul George, who he demanded the Clippers trade for if he was to sign there, they traded. Do you remember the trade package they traded for him?
Shea Alexander, I know, was
Shea. I'm going to read it to you here.
And it was some draft picks or something, right?
Because this is where it gets really, really bad for the rest of the league. Because if the Clippers do flail out and, get a top lottery pick in what is supposed to be a very good draft, this was the package they received. They gave away in exchange for Paul George, Shea Alexander, Danilo Gallinari, the pick that became Trey Mann for the Thunder, the pick that became Jalen Williams for the Thunder, 2023 first round swap with the Clippers, which wasn't conveyed, the Clippers 2024 unprotected first rounder, the Heat's 2025 protected first rounder 1 through 16, and then the right to swap first round picks with the Clippers in 2025. That means this upcoming draft, the OKC Thunder, who you and I have already discussed as the best in the West, could collect a top 5 pick in the upcoming draft. They could add Cooper Flagg or Ace Bailey to Shea and Chet and Caruso and these guys that they've got right now. And if they do that, the league is in some real, real trouble.
Well, we'll see. I'm. It's been a long time since we had an impactful player in the early parts of his career in the NBA.
Wembanyama literally came around last year and was impactful.
But they didn't make the playoffs.
No, fair.
Okay. Does he look like he's going to be a nice? Yes. It's not like, when Pat Ewing and Akeem Olajuwon and these guys came in,
D-Wade.
Yeah, these guys came in year one. Derrick Rose, for
Melo.
instance.
Yeah, Derrick Rose, Melo.
Derrick Rose came in, Melo. These guys make the playoffs. Now, it's been a long time. So the draft is a little different. Those are big names. Cooper Flag and these guys. I
But
think
they
they're
don't
going to be
have to
really
lead
good
their
players.
team to the playoffs because they're going to be on the number 1 seed in the West.
But there's a difference between playing basketball where you're developing and
that's true.
basketball and when you're winning.
That's true.
Winning basketball is a different game. So the draft is a little different. However, those are good names, great talent, but you got to wait on that talent 2, 3, 4 years, maybe sooner. Maybe you draft Cooper Flag. I mean, think about this one. Maybe you draft Cooper Flag 1 or 2, and then you say he's a glorified role player. I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
This is the issue. You're not drafting guys at that range to be a role player. So, in saying that, I like the names. I like the theories and all those, that comes with it. However, Shai Alexander is a bona fide superstar. He is a first-team All-NBA player.
Correct.
For 2 years and running now.
Yeah, he could be MVP this year.
Yes, he could. The Williams kid, Jalen Williams, looked like he's going to be
who they
top
got
15 player.
Of the Clippers. Yeah.
Yes. Chet Holmgren, what is this, year 2 now?
2? Yeah, well, the first year he didn't play at all. So technically year 3, but year 2 of playing.
Year 2. So he's still in his,
Yep.
And then you're going to add another young player to that. Now, that's where it gets tricky. Because we know if you're going to win, for the most part, you add veteran players.
Yep.
So I like the options. I like all of this. However, you got to start paying these players, right?
Yeah. But you could pay them if you draft them. But OKC, I don't know how much money the owners have got, but it ain't Steve Ballmer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because Chet Holmgren is going to get paid. Jalen Williams is going to get paid. And then, they just paid Hardenstein. It's a lot to think about. But I like what you're saying, though, Mo. However,
it's a good problem to have.
It's a great problem to have if you win. But you got to do the right thing now.
Yeah.
Now, he's got to figure out, there was a reason he got rid of Giddey. He got rid of Giddey.
Well, you saw Giddey. Here's something for you. You watched Lonzo Ball's debut.
Mm-hmm.
Or return, sorry.
I didn't watch the game. I mean,
well, even if you didn't watch it and you watched the box score, if you looked at that game and you told me, someone who's never watched basketball before, that there's a player playing on the court who's not played basketball in 3 years, they would not have guessed Lonzo Ball. They would have guessed 1 for 11, Josh Giddey, missing layups left, right, and center. That's why he got rid of Josh Giddey.
No.
That's why he got rid of Josh Giddey. He was the weak link in their team. Let's just call it what it is. I know you want to be nice, but we'll call it what it is. And also, in a completely different note, but speaking of theories, today I received vindication because everyone called me a hater. When I talk about Andre Drummond, and I say his rebounds don't count because he's just rebounding his own misses, they all call me a hater. Andre Drummond went on the Run Your Race podcast and admitted to missing shots on purpose so he could get more rebounds. So everyone who called me a hater, I promise you, I can send you the clip. I promise you. I will send you the clip. I promise you. He said that he decided he wanted to be the greatest rebounder of all time. And then the guy on the podcast, I can't remember his name, he said, did you ever miss shots on purpose to get more rebounds? And Andre Drummond says, yes. So everyone who called me a hater in the comment section, even you, BJ.
I don't even use that term. However, that's a first for me. I've never heard a player do that. Like,
they called me a madman.
Oh, that's an interesting philosophy. Okay.
It's insane that he said that whilst he's still actively playing. Like, if once he's retired and you want to have a laugh and whatever, like.
Yeah, you send me that clip. I have to see that.
I'll send it to you. He's also apparently said that he's put hands on his teammates before because they went after his rebounds. Reggie Jackson in Detroit. Apparently he punched him in the head and he didn't do it again. I never knew rebounding was that deep.
Okay.
I also don't believe him though. Maybe he's just bad at scoring and he's just trying to play off him being bad at scoring. But
I think he's trolling everyone.
I don't think he's trolling. I don't think he's trolling. I don't think he's trolling.
Uh,
Well, BJ, the season is almost here.
Okay.
Season is almost here. And the Boston Celtics are going to raise the 18th banner. I'm
Are
not
you
going
going to the
anywhere with
game?
this. I just wanted to tell you. No, I'm not. I'm not going to be at the game. I've got some things to do over on this side of the pond. I wish I was going to the game. It is. I saw an interesting graphic today about the get-in price for opening night of the NBA season. Do you know who has the most expensive ticket to get into opening night? As in, if you were to have the worst seat in the arena, which is the most expensive arenas to be at out of all 30 teams?
The Knicks.
No, they're second. The Celtics, because they're raising the banner, $353. The
Okay.
Knicks are second. Do you know which team has the cheapest ticket for opening night of the NBA season?
My Detroit Pistons.
No. Detroit wasn't even bottom five. The New Orleans Pelicans are charging $3 to get in. It's crazy, right? Let me ask you this, B, right? Because like over here in the Premier League, I don't think you've been able to get a ticket for £3 since like 1800, since the year 1800, right? Like to get into a Premier League game for anything less than like 200 quid, you're dreaming. Is the NBA in trouble selling tickets like this? And does that say anything about
I don't know.
the
Say about that
standard?
market. Yeah, but that market, that's.
But like Utah was like $10. Charlotte was like $16. Like a lot of those teams I looked at and I was like, if I lived in America, I'd be at every single game. It's like $10, $20 max to get into half the teams in a league.
Well, these are smaller markets. Yeah, it's a little concerning. You might be onto something, Mo. You might be onto something here. I mean, Mo's scanning the attendance around the NBA.
It's about due diligence. I'm a businessman after all. I mean, I know the fans in Philadelphia are all going to pay $100 to go in and watch Andre Drummond rebound his own misses because Embiid's not going to be playing on back to back. So I'm looking forward to that. That would be nice to the fans in Philly.
You're on a roll right now.
Oh, it's 2 a.m. on Friday.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I've been on a roll all summer, and my summer's coming to an end in just 4 days. So
yes, you just gotta let them gotta let them run sometimes,
So yeah, that's like the NBA season's almost here. Lonzo did look nice in his return to the court though. 4 of 6, 10 points. There was a couple crazy moments I saw for a player who's not played in a couple of years, right? There was one play where he was cutting to the basket and he was pointing up in the air as if to say, throw me an alley-oop.
Oh,
Lonzo, are you crazy? And then there was another one where he dived into the scorer's table to save the ball. And I'm like, brother, it's preseason. I know you've not played for a while, but please just chill out. Just please chill out. I do want to give a shout out while we're here to one of my favorite players of all time who retired this week. The one and only Mr. Aaron Baines.
Oh, yeah.
What a career. What a career he had.
What did he play, about 9 or 10 years? He got in about 10 years.
Yeah,
right?
and he had a tragic accident, which meant he lost the ability to walk and everything. He had to relearn how to walk, and then he played professional in Australia for a little bit. He played overseas, came in with the Spurs in 2013, played for the Pistons, played for the Celtics, owned Joel Embiid while he was on the Celtics, played for the Suns, played for the Raptors, and then he played a couple of years with the Brisbane Bullets. That's Aaron Baines' career, but shout out to him. He
world champion, right? Did he win the world championship?
He got a bronze medal at the 2020 Olympics, and he won gold at the FIBA Oceania Championship in 2011.
Oh, he didn't win an NBA championship? I thought he won an NBA championship.
Or
somewhere.
Well, he did. He was on the Spurs when they won.
Okay, that's what I thought he.
Yeah. On my notes, it's not been included by the reliable people of Wikipedia. Did not include that on his accomplishments. Like, he did. There's photos of him holding a trophy.
Yeah.
There's also a funny video of him absolutely drunk off his mind and Tim Duncan carrying him out of the club from their championship celebrations because he was always the life of the party. So shout out to Aaron Baines. But that's a bit of fun.
Mo, can we talk about
What do you want to talk about?
Mo, I know you say you're across the pond, but I was watching the Miami game the other night.
Okay.
Are you sure you weren't at the game, Mo?
Wait. You're not talking about the fans fighting in the stands, just for clarity. Just to clear that up.
No.
Why was I at the game, BJ? Why was I at the game?
I mean, well, I mean, are you going? You have an alias like Roddy?
David Roddy,
going,
my brother. You see the way he just brushed Bam Adebayo out of the way, got a big body bucket. That's how we do. That's how we. And my other favorite, Kenny Lofton Jr. got waived by the Bulls today. I hope he gets. I hope someone picks him up.
Yeah, I know.
I hope someone picks him up.
But Roddy, you know what? Well, you and Roddy, that's all I want for the 24-25 season. I want a picture with Mo standing by Roddy. That's all I'm asking for.
I'm gonna have to get down to Atlanta. He's on the Hawks right now. I'm gonna have to holler at the people at the Hawks and make that happen. We're gonna play a game of 1-on-1 and just see what happens. It will be the slowest game of 1-on-1 you have ever witnessed. No running, just back down dribbles. That's all it's gonna be.
But whatever works.
Hey, it is what it is.
Well, okay.
Well, you
enjoy.
That was a fun episode. That was a nice fun episode for
Friday.
Yeah,
you've been a little, you've been a little funny this week.
I had a good week. You talk about Will Chamberlain so much. I had to enjoy this week. It's the last week before the season starts. And I guess what? It's going to get better over the weekend.
You just do you. I know we'll have another episode. I don't know what he's doing, but we'll have another episode.
Sunday night.
Okay.
But Friday night and Saturday night, don't call me.
Okay. I'm calling you. Calling you.
Only if I send the emergency signal. BJ, I need you to tell me we got a podcast now. I got to go. That's it. Yeah. That's it. 911. But yeah, appreciate you guys who listened. Hope you enjoyed that more fun episode of the show. We'll be back Monday morning. And we're trying to get Scotty P back on the show as well.
Yes,
for a little season preview, because Tuesday night it all kicks off. So make sure you're in the Discord server. The fantasy link and all that got posted today. So hopefully you managed to join. If you didn't, then drop a message in there. Jack's running it, and maybe he'll start another one for you guys who are latecomers to the party. But yeah, subscribe to the show, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast from. And I just want to say how much I appreciate all the fans who keep listening over the off season, because you get the data of the podcast and listeners, and like during the playoffs and the finals, the numbers are crazy, right?
Right.
But then some fans, they're not really listening during the off season because they, I understand they follow other sports and whatnot, but the real ones have stayed throughout the off season. So to you guys who are still listening, I salute you guys, because you're the real basketball fans. 365 every day wanting to hear us talk about basketball. So
well, we just really want to know what you're doing, Mo. We really want to know what you're doing.
This is a family-friendly show, B. I can't.
I know it is family-friendly, but underneath that, it's entertaining.
It is entertaining. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna do like some uncensored episodes behind a paywall, and I can tell you guys the truth why I'm not on the podcast.
Yeah. Maybe Mo has to tell you what he does. This is what I do. I watch basketball. I go home. I'm with my family. Now, what Mo does, I have no idea. But how many people can pull off a podcast and win a rope? I mean, that should.
Hey. BJ, I was wearing my robe all day. Then I wasn't wearing it, and now I'm wearing it again. And here we are. I'm comfortable.
Okay.
I'm comfortable.
Cut. It's over. It's over.
All right, subscribe to the show, you guys. YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast from. And until next time, get buckets.